Hey, Revolution, everybody. This is Brother Leonard, the Truth Seeker, and I'm coming to you with a few minutes of truth here. And I'm not going to be doing a live stream tonight because there really isn't much, and this is basically the only story that I have tonight. Besides the fact that we covered John Gray, basically taking over as pastor of the Redemption Church, and I forgot what Restoration Church now in South Carolina. So that's what I think that they're doing with that. He took over on Sunday, so it is what it is with that. So I don't have to say too much about that. I really don't feel like dealing with another pervert that's out in my area, but I will do a video on that a little later. But the only news that we have this week that I can share with you, so that I'm just going to put this up and then we don't have to waste our time with the live stream and going through all that stuff. And I'll play the video for you after the end of this. Juanita Bynum and Bishop Jakes done got back together. After 20 years, they decided to come back together. And this time, they are coming back together for Woman Thou Art Loose. I don't know when Woman Thou Art Loose is, but yes, they have come back together. If you're not aware, because it had been 20 years and a lot of you probably wasn't even around or didn't even care about church or anything like that. But this had been a long, ongoing situation. Some may say it was a feud. Others may say that it was just, parting of ways. But for those who are not familiar with the situation, back in 1997, Bishop Jakes had invited Juanita Bynum to an early Woman Thou Art Loose conferences. And at the time, the conference had just started picking up steam and it had just started to blow up. So he invited her as an up and coming preacher in the apostolic, Kojic ways of things. And she came on to the scene and delivered this sermon that became the hallmark for her. And it basically got her the pub that she got. It was called No More Sheets. Many of you are familiar with that sermon series. It's a very popular sermon series. Just as Bishop Jakes took out of his sermon series of Woman Thou Art Loose and created a book out of it, and out of that book became the conference and, everything that we know of Bishop Jakes doing today. So that was his birth. Her birth was out of his situation. Now, if my memory serves me right, there became issues when Juanita started selling the No More Sheets and began to try to brand No More Sheets. And Bishop Jakes not wanting to let her sell No More Sheets and brand No More Sheets because he saw it as a Woman Thou Art Loose property, if my memory serves me right, which is the genesis of the beef. So shortly after that, they parted ways. And I believe Jakes continued to sell the No More Sheets and stuff and something like that. And she began to preach the sermon somewhere else, and then I think she tried to sell it on her own with from another venue or something like that, if my memory serves me correct on this. Well, during that time, we know that Juanita Bynum had had an up and down situation. Shortly thereafter, she married Timothy Weeks, Bishop Timothy Weeks, and had the wedding of a lifetime, this fairy tale wedding. We think that the royal wedding that Prince William and Meghan Markle is going to give next week was something Look, y'all need to go ahead on YouTube and look up the Juanita Bynum Timothy Weeks wedding. Oh my God, the pageantry is hilarious. They were doing stuff that I never even heard of. They had something called a salt covenant. I don't know what a salt covenant is or what it was or anything like that. Even at the time, I'm still kind of confused on it right now. But they had a salt covenant. Think they was washing feet. They had like 3 or 4 communions. They were lighting a whole bunch of candles. It was a lot of stuff. And the sad part about it is that all this stuff that they did, the simple part of the vow where it says "till death do you part," that only lasted until 2012, when I think it was 2012 or maybe earlier about that 2007. I think it was maybe 2007 now, when they were at an airport hotel parking lot when allegedly Timothy Weeks sat up there and beat up on Juanita. Now, I have my own feelings about that, but I'm not going to go into that. Also, shortly thereafter that, you see Juanita coming out talking about how she was doing drugs and how she was now she was saved at this time, how she was doing drugs and being with other women during this situation. Also, she has said during this thing, and I'm trying to figure all this stuff out. She done said during this time that she's been away that she had a picture of Jesus. She showed folk this picture to a church of this shadowy thing and said that this was Jesus. Yeah, you can find that video up there online as well. Crazy. Crazy. And I've always contended that Juanita Bynum needs help and she needs mental help and and everything like that. But, you know, it is what it is. But this is very interesting because after all these 20 years, is it full circle? Is it that she got into good graces with Jakes again? Because Jakes is the kingmaker. And, maybe her popularity has slid down so much that she had to, fall on her sword to get back up. Because he is the kingmaker. And the one thing about it, though, this time, I think that she may be aware of the situations and the stipulations that's going on with that. So just to, give y'all a heads up, so now there's a video, a little promo video that I'm going to play at the end of my comments, basically saying that that Juanita Bynum had joined the cast of, characters. I think Paula White's on it, Cheryl Brady. Let me see who else is in this thing. Is that Rita Tiggs? No. Paula White's not on this. Cheryl Brady, Paula White look the same to me. But his daughter's on there. So, yeah. So, all this stuff is here. They are doing it. And, it's just a very interesting situation. Something to pay attention to going forward. Also, I like what Bishop Jakes did on this thing, right? We noticed this last year when we were trying to get to follow the streams of the pastor leadership conference last year because of a certain pastor that decided to drive a Bentley to the church was involved in it, and we wanted to see what was going on with that. We found out, much to our chagrin, that in order to do these sorts of things, that you need to have $100 to do it. And it's not that I don't have $100 to just drop on, this service. It's just that I don't want to give Bishop Jakes $100. So so we don't get a chance to follow his streams anymore and get all the good stuff, from these mega fests and these pastor leadership conferences anymore, because they be saying some stuff on there that we be going at it, but nah, not anymore, because he wants, he basically Netflixed his preaching. So that's actually a good deal, business wise. It's a very good deal, because I know that they got suckers out there that's going to pay $100 for all that stuff. So just to keep that in mind. All right. Yeah, this week, no live streams, but no live stream of Revolution Live from the Basement, because this is the only well, there's another story that I'm going to do in a few minutes, local story, but not able to get much out of this situation. But in the coming weeks, before I do my hiatus, okay, probably next week, I'm going to do the breakdown of the television program of, just pick one. It doesn't matter whichever one I find. But I'm going to break it down and basically show you why, as a believer, you should stay far away from Christian television. Okay? I'm going to try to make it plain to you, because I'm going to tell you that you're just being sold a bill of goods, and that's basically it. You're just being sold. And by watching it, you're buying it, and you need to stop. It's just I got to break it down for you. That's probably going to be next week, and it's really going to be real intensive on that. And then in line with that, because I'm going to have to do that first before I deal with, in 2 weeks, the breakdown of Jimmy Baker. Jimmy Baker has been in the news a lot over the past couple of years now. And I've tried to stay away from him. Not necessarily stay away from him, but it just seemed like it's gobbledygook. But after I break down the television show, and then I juxtapose it with Jimmy Baker the following week, you're going to see, like, wow, because we need to deal with this situation as well. So this is what's going on here, and just so that you know, this is what we're going to have going on. This is your boy, Brother Leonard, the Truth Seeker, coming to you with a few minutes of truth. Revolution.
God always picks up at the spot you drop off.
And if you always look at where you are, you will always be where you are. You gotta look up, because what God wants to do in you is bigger than what you can hold in your hand.
I hear God saying, it's time to go, baby, that I've been pulling you back so I can shoot you forward. And the time is now for you to set your city on fire.
God can let you be in one building at one time, have one encounter that will change everything you've been praying about.
The time is now to change the course of your personal, professional, and spiritual life. If you register today for the Woman Thou Art Loosed Masterclass, not only will you receive a special rate for individuals and groups, you will also get the opportunity to win a WTAL Masterclass Executive VIP Getaway. So register today and step into your destiny.